Today, let's talk all about Perusall and setting it up in Canvas. Sometimes integrating third-party tools and apps can be a little confusing the first time you have to set them up. So let's start from the very beginning and walk through how to connect your Canvas course to Perusall. Then secondly, we're going to connect your Perusall assignments to your Canvas course. And then lastly, third, we will discuss how to create a peer review assignment if that's something that you're interested in. So, step number one, let's get started with connecting your course in Canvas to Perusall. This is the very first thing you want to do. I will caveat to say, make sure you have an account with Perusall or else there's nothing really to connect. So perusall.com, sign up for your account, make sure you do that first. Okay, now let's connect your course to Perusall. So looking at your course in Canvas right here, go to the Settings section of the menu, which is at the very bottom. Once that page loads, go into Navigation, and right here is how we control what is enabled and what is in our course menu. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down, and we're looking for Perusall, of course. And you can either click the three dots and click Enable, and it automatically adds it to the top, or I could have clicked and dragged it all the way up to the top of this menu as well. So now Perusall is enabled in the course, and it's going to create a link. Now Canvas knows that you are reaching out to Perusall and you want something to happen. As always on this page, don't forget to scroll down to the very, very bottom and click Save, because if you don't do that, it's going to forget everything you just did. Okay, so now I can see that Perusall is right here in my course, which is fabulous. So I can just click on Perusall right there, and it says, Welcome to Perusall, even if you've used it 500 times. How nice of them. It gives you a little tutorial step by step right here. Just click Continue at the very bottom. And do you want to either start with an empty course or copy an existing course? If you have used this before, let's say last semester, you can just copy an existing course. Or if you're going to start with an empty course, you would select this. Let's assume you are using Perusall from a previous course. From there, you can say, I'm going to copy into my course that I just created. And then I'm going to copy one of my courses. Now, one thing that's really important to note is that you have to copy the content and the assignments. You can't do one or the other. So I'd have to select all of these and then select all of these. These are just random things I've worked on with other people. Okay. And then I would click Continue down here. So if we want to alternatively start with an empty course, this is where you would browse your catalog or upload your own materials like, different assignment stuff like lectures, videos. We'll get more into that in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and start with an empty course. I'm going to click Continue. These are your basic settings. So this is where you're going to fill in all of your information. So, agribusiness, type in the dates, scoring, all that stuff, read through those, select your settings. Your target group size, go ahead and set that to the same number as the number of students who are in your course. So if you have 30 students, put down 30. Okay, down here is one that I want to emphasize. It says automatically sync individual assignment scores back to the LMS. This is really important because if you don't do this, either it's going to ask you to manually sync them. So this is where it's going to be graded in Perusall, but it's not going to show up in your gradebook in Canvas. Or you're saying don't connect at all back to Canvas, which we don't want. And this one says automatically sync students' average scores back to the LMS. The difference here is if you have 20 quizzes, it's going to average those 20 quiz scores together into one grade, and that one grade gets reported back to Canvas. So if you want each of these assignments to have their own score, make sure you click automatically sync individual assignment scores back to the LMS. And I'm going to click Continue. Okay. And it says your roster will populate automatically as students launch Perusall from your LMS. So that's very important. And then they give you some more tips and etc. So that is the basic setup of connecting your course to Canvas. It's important to note that integrating Perusall from inside Canvas, like how we just did by adding it into the actual menu and then clicking from the menu, that means that there's going to be no setup, no enrollment, no sign up or anything for the student. Since you have linked your course directly, they can just go to the assignment, complete it, and be done. They can simply click the button and be redirected. So that is great. All right, for the next section, as I kind of alluded to earlier, you can create new assignments in Perusall, or you already have the content from a previous course and you can just click through those and copy them over. So if you're creating a new assignment, you first need to select the content that's going to be used in the assignment. So you'll click Library at the top, and then you're going to select the source of your material. You can upload a document from your computer, a website, or even use Perusall's catalog and pull some content from their website. Here's a couple things to note though. If you're using audio or video for your assignment in Perusall, you can link to YouTube, Yuja, OneDrive, whatever, and the video is actually going to play on that platform. So if you link to a YouTube video and students click on that link in the Perusall assignment, Perusall is going to jump over to YouTube to let them watch the video, and they'll have to navigate back to the Perusall tab to finish the assignment. The audio and the video does not play directly inside of a Perusall assignment. So that's one thing to take note of. If they're simply just writing a summary over a video, maybe a different tool will be better for that assignment. Number 2, if you are using a web page, Perusall will actually create a snapshot of the page, basically freezing a copy of the image of the website. This is going to make sure that if the page content changes after you've assigned it to the students, you only get the version of that web page that you actually assigned at that time. Also, please make sure to verify that the web page doesn't have any pop-ups or require logins. If using an article through the West Library's online database, for example, you'd be better off downloading a copy of the text of the article since the database would require a login. So whatever you use as far as a web page, make sure there's no barrier blocking access to it. Number 3, the longer the slide presentation, PDF, or files, the longer it takes Perusall to upload it. And I mean, it takes a while. This can be a lengthy process, so be sure to make these assignments in advance. I know we all have crazy stuff that happens and last minute changes, but just be aware that if you make some big changes to this and you now want them to look at a 50-page PDF, that's going to take not just 5 minutes, but that could take an hour even to upload. So just be aware of that. And in that same vein, if you have a lot of short articles or websites, and then you have that 150-page PDF, the order that you select these to be uploaded to your library, the order that you select them in is the order that it will upload. So put all of your short stuff first, add those short things first, and that big PDF or whatever big file you have, add that one last to your library so that one can sit there and just chug away. You can completely leave the Perusall website and that content upload will still continue in the background. So to make this slightly easier, I'm going to go to one of my other courses where I already had a assignment started, and here are some websites and papers that I had added in here. And yes, one of these was just 5 pages long and it still took several minutes for this to upload, so just be aware of that. As you're adding stuff to the library, I'm going to click on one of the videos that I've added, and yes, you can select multiple pieces of content to go into the same assignment if you would like. Okay, so next I'm going to look at some of these things that I already have added right here, and I'm going to go into assignments right here. If you already have something, it's going to be listed here, or you can click Add Assignment up here at the top. And on this one, this is where it's important to go in and make sure you have everything uploaded to your library, your content library first, before you go in and add an assignment. It's a little bit different than how most LMSs handle the content. So I'm going to click this one right here. I'm going to assign all the content. Okay. This is where you're going to be picking, when is this assignment due? Okay. Put your title here. Instructions, make sure you read the whole thing and then write 2 paragraphs in response, blah, blah, blah. You have your availability here if you'd like to set when they can see it and when they can't. You can assign it to the entire class or specific groups. And you also have an option to remind students to do said activity. Okay, so here you can use the course scoring settings. If you use the settings that we checked earlier in this video, where we make sure that we're reporting automatically all assignment scores individually to the LMS, you'll be good to go. If you want to customize things though, you can definitely click this button and you can say they can make between 0 and 22 points. You can also add in some different settings here if you want certain parts of actions that they've taken to be calculated as a percentage of their grade. There's a lot on this, there's a lot of options. So whatever you want, you can add here, or if you just want to grade it, just click that button. Click OK. So now you have your assignment here, and that's how you get the assignment that you make first in Perusall. Now you're ready to connect this assignment with Canvas. Let's pause for 1 second. That was scenario number 1. Let's look at scenario number 2. Let's say you don't have to come in here and create new assignments. Maybe you've used Perusall 50 previous semesters, and in that case you simply need to copy your Perusall assignments from one Perusall course to another. So first, let's click on Library at the top, and then we're going to over to Add Content, and we're going to select the one that says Materials from Another Course. One thing to be very aware of is you have to select both the content and the assignment. I know it's kind of weird. You would think the assignment would just be linked with its own content, but if Perusall number 1 needs this essay, make sure you select both of them. And if you only want to copy some of your assignments from last time, just click whatever's applicable, and then you're going to click OK. And it's going to start loading. All right, ignore the error message. That's not actually my course and my book. All right, so now that we've discussed both scenarios, either creating new assignments or copying from a previous semester, we're going to talk about step number 2, which is adding these assignments to Canvas. So I'm going to swap back over to my course. So you want to go into the specific module where you'd like the assignment to be added, and we're going to click the plus sign up here at the top. Regardless of whatever type of assignment is in Perusall, quiz, or anything else, just go ahead and click assignment, okay? We're going to create an assignment because it's new in Canvas, okay? This is the part that is very, very, very important. You have to grab the exact name from Perusall and put it into Canvas. If there's a comma, period, space, anything is different, Perusall won't be able to make the connection between your Canvas grade and the gradebook and then the assignment in Perusall. So it has to be exact. So let's keep Perusall open, go back to the assignment, and then right here there's a button that says Copy Full Title for LMS. They know how important this is, so they make it pretty easy for you. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. It gives you a little green message saying you're good to go. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paste the name right there. Add item. I know this sounds a little weird, but hang in there with me. I'm going to access this assignment and I'm going to click Edit. Okay, so you're going to add in your points. The points need to match Perusall as well. If Perusall says it's worth 50 points and Canvas says it's worth 100 points, Canvas is going to apply its points to the grade reported from Perusall. So it's going to say you have 100 out of 50 points. So make sure they match. In this box up here, you can put in information and instructions for your students, like make sure you have already read chapter 3 before doing this assignment, or most importantly, remind the students to click the button in this assignment and do not try to Google Perusall or use it through any other link or even the Perusall link that's in the course menu. They don't need to click that. They specifically have to click the button that's in the specific assignment. If they don't do that, then Perusall can't make that connection and you will have grade sync errors, okay? So in here, in red text, highlight it, make it size 99, I don't care. Make it very, very, very clear that just below this text, that is the button you need to click in order to get credit for this assignment. Make it very clear. Can you go back and relink things? Yes, but you're going to have to get with the student individually, show them where to click, and reestablish that link between their account and Canvas and Perusall. So save yourself the misery, put the instructions here, tell them to click the button that's on the assignment specifically. Okay, now that we have that covered, we're going to scroll on down. For your assignment group, if you have a group for all of your Perusall assignments, you can create the group or select it from the list. For mine, I'm just going to put it into an assignments group. On submission type, we're going to go to external tool, and different publishers and different things work slightly differently. Perusall links your accounts together. It doesn't link a specific assignment via URL. Okay, so right now, I think the tendency for a lot of people will be to run back over to Perusall, copy the URL link at the very top of their web page, and then throw it into this box right here. But that's actually not what we're going to be doing. So we're going to go to Find and scroll down until you find Perusall, LMNOP. There we go. Select, boom. It automatically puts the LTI launch link in there for you automatically. You do not have to type in that box. And then you're going to make sure that load this tool in a new tab is checked right here. This has to be checked. If it's left unchecked, then it's going to potentially cause a lot of LMS issues. It's going to give you an error saying it wasn't able to launch, it couldn't communicate with the LMS. So just make sure that button is actually checked. That is all that's needed to actually make sure that your Perusall assignment is now attached to this one. Sounds a little strange, right? But remember the few minutes ago when I was talking about how really important it is that we copy that title from Perusall to Canvas? That is how Perusall makes the link and gets it into your gradebook. So basically what we're doing here by creating an assignment in Canvas with the exact name, we're creating a column in your gradebook with this exact name. That is how Perusall is going to find this assignment. So make sure the title up here is exact, and then down here it's just find, and it puts in the launch link for you. That's all that's needed, okay? And we're going to go down here and go to Save and Publish. Okay, so here's our assignment. Obviously, you would have your instructions here, and here is the button that we're going to click to launch our assignment. This is the button that students must click on in order to get all their credit for the assignment. Now, you as the instructor, if you're anything like me, I always like to double, triple, quadruple check that things are working before I get 500 emails and phone calls from students. So the temptation here is to go up to the top and click on Student View, and then click on this button to make sure it's going to load right for the student, right? We use Student View a lot for that. However, with a third-party tool, just click on it as you. So me logged in right now, if I just click this, it's going to open the assignment in Perusall, and it's going to open the assignment as if I'm a student, because all it's doing is linking to the assignment. If you click on Student View and then try to click this button to actually launch the assignment, what's going to happen is this big error message from Perusall, because it's going to be very confused. Perusall is looking for a student in your class named Student View. Student View is not actually an account, it's just a lens. It's a way of looking at things in Canvas. It's not an actual person, and it's not an actual account. So if you click Student View and try to access the assignment, it's going to give you an error message. That doesn't mean it was set up incorrectly. Just go into the assignment, click it as your normal self, and you'll see exactly what the students are going to see when they click that button. So just be aware of that. Use your normal instructor view in Canvas. Okay. Let's talk about some important things to note that are specific to using Perusall that I think are very important to know. There are 6 things total, so I'll try to make it quick. Number 1, each time you launch Perusall from Canvas, it's going to run a roster sync. That roster sync is going to automatically run in the background. You don't have to do anything. And as students are added into your course in Canvas, they're going to be added into Perusall. Remember, this is only after you have launched Perusall. So a good rule of thumb might be avoiding Perusall assignments during the first week of the semester when enrollments are very likely to change frequently. After that, launch Perusall periodically. Maybe make it a task every week at the beginning of the semester to go in and launch Perusall yourself, and that way you'll update your roster and you won't have any grade sync issues with new students who get enrolled in your Canvas course. Number 2. If you see a red exclamation point in your Perusall gradebook, that means that the grade will not sync back to Canvas automatically. To fix this, ask the student to access the assignment and click that Perusall button in the assignment. Remind them to only use those assignment buttons, not Google, not other links. Number 3, if you see an orange exclamation point in the Perusall gradebook, that means Perusall had an error with the LMS. Hover your mouse over that icon to get the details, copy that information down, and then create an IT help desk ticket to get it resolved. Number 4, if a grade is not syncing back to Canvas, but there's no exclamation point at all in the Perusall gradebook, that means Perusall is waiting for you to release the grades so students can see them. This is that Perusall course setting we talked about before. So if you have this issue, click Settings, click General, and then right there is where you can set the setting for assignment scores to be released automatically. You do not want to, in most cases, you don't want to release scores manually, you want it to be automatic. Number 5. If you need to extend a Perusall assignment for a specific student or group of students, go to the applicable assignment in Perusall. You're going to click the quote, Extend Deadline for a Student button, then click Add Deadline Override. Select the applicable students from the list and then enter the new deadline. Number 6. If a student tells you they only see a blank page when trying to access Perusall, it might be due to ad blockers on the student's computer. Either you or the IT help desk can help the student disable the blocker specifically for the Perusall website. This brings us to the last portion of this tutorial. If you're not interested in creating a peer review assignment, feel free to leave us here. Otherwise, here's brief instructions on how to set up a peer review assignment. I highly recommend accessing the support page in Perusall's website, which has detailed steps, because this process is somewhat cumbersome. So we're going to go over very quickly the steps and how to do it, but definitely go to the support page on Perusall's website. Okay, step number 1, you're going to upload a folder for students to upload their assignments to. So this folder that you're creating is a spot where students can dump their projects, their essays, etc. One quick note though, Perusall does recommend placing all students into one group before creating this upload folder. So to put everyone in one group, go to Settings, Grouping, then change the target group size to match the number of students in your course. Now let's go back to the upload folder. Create this area by going to your library, go to Add Content, and then go down to Student Upload Folder. They can upload PDFs, EPUBs, images, Word documents, and PowerPoints to this folder. Step number 2, create a differentiated assignment. So go to the Assignments section and click Add Assignment. Select Add Differentiated Assignment. Next, you're going to click the field titled Select Folder, and then you need to pick the folder that you just created in the previous step that we just talked about. From here, you can specify the peer review setup and assignment parameters according to what you want to do. Just know that you cannot assign a student to more than one document to peer review within a single assignment. So you can have multiple assignments if you want them to do multiple peer reviews, but per that one differentiated assignment, one student reviews one document. One note is that you can have the original student give graded feedback on the peer reviewer comments, but to do this, you'll have to make a second assignment and assign it to them. Again, go to their website. I know this process is a little detailed and a little non-standard, so I highly recommend, again, going to Perusall's support page and getting those detailed screenshots and information. All right, that's it for the Perusall video. As always, give us a call if you have any questions or email us at cedal@texwest.edu. See you next time.